Let's be real. The best time to get your money right was yesterday. The next best time is today. I know, I get it. I've been there. Credit card debt, bills piling up, and not taking those calls. I was making good money, but still living paycheck to paycheck. I didn't know what I didn't know. I was embarrassed and I was ashamed. Can you relate? But I have good news. You can take action today. It's not too late. Hi, I'm Dignity Coach MarieYolaine, and I am here to empower you to reclaim dignity in your finances.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing? I hope your day is going well. I'm excited that you're here today. I want to welcome you to what is now officially Dignity and Dollars Live. You may have known this space as Money Talks Live, but as my work has depended, how do I say this? As my work has deepened around money, healing, dignity, and restoring confidence, I realized that the name needed to evolve too. And you know, I'm always about adapt, adjust, and evolve, right? So this space has always been about more than dollars. It's about worth, safety, and empowerment. Because let's be real, when we think about dignity and dollars, there are people who have a lot of dollars, but no dignity at all. So the dignity has to come first, and it has to be the filter through which we, as I should test y'all now on the 5, right? Should be the filter through which we make money, save money, invest money, give money, and spend money, right? What is the lens? What is the filter that you are using? Because that will tell you the difference between you mastering your money and your money mastering you. And speaking of which, if you don't know already or haven't visited our website, focusfire.life/master your money. That's where all the information is for you to find out about the workshop and how you can be a part of your financial freedom and financial liberation. So, Dignity and Dollars Live reflects exactly what we do here. We talk about money in a way that honors who you are. So, I'm MarieYolaine, your dignity coach and founder and CEO of Focus Fire. I created Focus Fire as a space for us to focus our fire. Because you know the difference between a laser, which is a focused beam of light, and a fire that has no boundaries around it. That's how you get a forest fire. That's how buildings burn down, right? So if the fire is not contained in the stove, in the candle, in the campfire, those are all good places, brings warmth, makes food, lights up a room. But if that fire is not focused, then that is how you, how do I say? That's how you burn everything down. That's how you get an inferno, right? So I encourage you to focus your fire. That's why I named it, right? So when we are here, as I said, I created this space to focus your fire, talk about our money memories, because how we address money and think about money, feel about money, spend our money, make our money are all or can all be traced to a money memory. You may not even be conscious of it, but you were a kid, you were 1, you were 2, and you heard about money. Or you got a little bit older and you asked for something and somebody said, I don't have any money for that. Or do you have McDonald's money? And you're like, I don't know what McDonald's money is. But you were 5, so you didn't even know how to ask that. So you just took that seed, planted it, and then forgot about it. Then you become an adult and you're trying to save money, make money, invest money, and it's not exactly working out because you're never taught about money. And now that money trauma rears its ugly head. So we talk about that money memory here. we talk about the money trauma and how to heal from it, to be at peace with your money and live abundantly. That is why you're here on this planet, to live an abundant life. That's the Focus Fire life. And as I mentioned, you can find me at focusfire.life, master your money. And of course, follow me on all the socials, right? I empower entrepreneurs, business owners, side hustlers, and professionals to push past their money fears and imposter syndrome, to design the life they deserve, to make income and impact, because you deserve to make both. So I am so glad that you're here. Today, we're talking about how to measure your money without losing your peace. Somewhere in the Bible, it says, let peace be your umpire. Why does it say that? I literally took a little deep dive into this, because we let other things be our umpire. Usually it's our feelings, our emotions, and the number one culprit is fear. And I remember praying about this once because I was trying to make a really important decision. And in my quiet time, in my meditation time, I was like, something happened. And I was like, oh, and I was scared. And I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe that's a message from God saying, don't do this, right? And as I was praying and being quiet and meditating, I heard in here, fear is not a confirmation for me about anything. I do not confirm for you to do something or not to do something with fear. Man, I was free. That just released me, because then I'm not running from pillar to post trying to figure out signs. And I heard, let peace be your umpire. When you're trying to make a decision, peace should be your confirmation to go to the left or to the right, that you have peace about your decision. Because at that point, you can release it. You have made the decision. You are in alignment with your soul and your spirit. However it turns out, you are in alignment with your soul and your spirit, and you have peace. And that's what we all want, right? Not to be going into a situation you decide about scared or unsure, but having peace. And that's my wish for you, that you would have peace in your decisions, especially about money. So let's go into why is it we feel this way and what does this all mean, right? So today we're talking about what to measure and what to stop obsessing about. So I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Because I know some of you are already triggered, right? Just the mere thought of looking at the bills, looking at the bank statement, thinking about money, looking at the spreadsheet already gets you riled up. I understand. I have been there, where it sat there and I would walk around it, look at it, and I wouldn't even go over there, right? So let's talk about why measuring feels so hard. For many professionals and entrepreneurs, looking at the numbers feels overwhelming. Not because y'all can't do it, but because you feel like once you look, you have to be perfect. And perfection creates pressure. Pressure that, what if I make a mistake in the calculations? What if this doesn't add up? What if I add all these numbers and both of the columns are supposed to be the same and they're not? What if that happens? Let me save you some stress. It is absolutely going to happen. It is very rare that I sit and reconcile my bank statements, my bills, and my bank account, and it's beautiful. All the numbers match and everything is great across the board. They don't. I forgot to add something. I forgot to carry the one. I forgot a bill. I forgot a check. I forgot a client had paid this for a session. It's normal. It takes me 2, 3, sometimes 5 times to go through and get it as right as possible. And I love that I said as right as possible, because sometimes I have to let go of those 2 or 3 pennies. So if it's $32, $32.15, I'm gonna let that go. Like, I am not gonna start drinking over 15 cents, and you shouldn't either. When you're off plus or minus $50, $25, yes, we need to go dig down and figure out where that went. But a couple of cents, woosah, let it go, keep it moving. All right? So, again, measuring money feels hard when perfection is the goal. And perfection should not be the goal. Progress should be the goal. Think about this, right? Progress. I want to get better at this. I want to learn more. I like learning. It's okay if I make a mistake. There's somebody I can ask. I'm not a professional accountant. I'm not a professional CFO, because most people aren't. They are just trying to get their money right and get their money straight. So please give yourself the grace that you are learning, and that is okay. It's already enough stress. Don't add more to this, right? So let's talk about what actually matters. Okay? Let's simplify it. You do not need to track everything. Okay? You don't. You only need to be aware of the basics when you start: income, expenses, and debt. That's it. Clarity begins with simplicity. Oftentimes, when we pile everything and finally get the courage to put all the bills, all the spreadsheets, all the books, everything on the table, it took all the courage we had just to do that. And then we're overwhelmed again and we're triggered again. So we walk away and then we don't come back for another week. Don't do that to yourself. Use your courage wisely. Take one thing and address that one thing. Start there. And if you need 3 piles, these are all my expenses. This is all my income, your checks or your payments from your clients. This is all my debt, what I owe. Start there. And again, giving yourself the grace. If you need to walk away because you're like, whew, girl, that's all the energy I had to do that. I need a minute. That is okay. I encourage folks all the time, go take a walk. Go walk around the block. Go sit in the sunshine. Go walk in the forest. Go swim. Go ride your bike. Go do whatever it is that will bring you back to that place of peace, right? Don't pressure yourself into doing something that you already find is difficult. Promise? Okay, I don't believe that you said yes to that, right? So, what do we do next? Again, talking about perfection versus progress. So, practice does not make perfection. Practice makes progress. And that's what we want. We want progress. We want to be a little less scared today than we were yesterday. That's why it's called fearless, not without fear. I'm going to fear a little less today than I feared yesterday about these numbers. I feel a little bit less overwhelmed today than I did yesterday. I've said that this Haitian proverb to y'all before, but I'm going to say it again. Piti, piti, zoazo, bati, nishli, which means little by little, the sparrow builds her nest. If you've ever watched birds, talk about focused fire. This little bird will go and pick up one little twig, fly all the way back, fly all the way out, get another twig, fly all the way back, fly all the way out, get another twig, fly all the way back. Determination, focus with the end in mind. And as she's building this little nest, twig by twig, you know what she's seeing? Progress. She's not seeing perfection. What she is seeing and what is driving her is not perfection. It is the fact that she's building a home for her soon coming little eggs and baby birds. And that makes her happy. And for her to feel that is the fuel that she is building this nest. And at some point it's going to be done, right? And then she'll be all happy in her little home. And then she's going to lay these eggs and then these birds. So she's not thinking about perfection, and neither should you. Progress over perfection. Perfection says, if I can't do this perfectly, why start? Progress says, I can take one small step consistently. Please remember this. Progress always wins. Always. Always. This is why we celebrate our wins, right? As long as you're a milli-inch further than you were yesterday, an hour ago, we celebrate that. That is a win. Shout out to Coach Carol on that one. Okay? So, again, how do we transition this into actions? What are the things that we can actually do, right? Because some of you I know are at a crossroads. You know it's time to take care of this money demon, this money trauma, this money behavior, this money weight that has been on you and also passed down to you, right? I take a moment to pause to forgive our parents, our grandparents, our uncles, whoever, our teachers, whoever taught you or didn't teach you about money. Let me let you in on a secret. They probably didn't know either. They weren't withholding anything from you. They just didn't know either. And the shame and imposter syndrome and limiting beliefs prevented them. And that's how this money trauma gets passed down generation to generation. But you have the opportunity to be a curse breaker, a generational change maker, that some things will end with you and some things can start with you. And if you make that choice today at this crossroads in saying, I am not going to continue to do what we always did, because I'm going to get what we always got, which was confusion, fear, shame. I'm going to go in this direction. And I'm going to learn. I'm going to humble myself. I'm going to be okay with the fact that I don't know everything. And I'm going to make it better for me and everyone who's coming after me. That is a generational decision. As the elders used to say, if you always do what you always did, you're going to always get what you always got. And I'm telling you that what is easy, which is tradition, is not always better, which is transition. What's easy isn't always better, and what's better isn't always easy. Choose better. Choose better. And I'm going to give you actionable things you can do today. I don't deal well with lecture. I like a list of things to do. So hopefully this will be helpful to you too. So the shift. Action number 1. Let's talk about what it is that we can do. Track only one basic for the next week. Focus only on total income or total expenses or total debt. No categories, no subs, going deep, 10 layers in. Just be like, you know what? I'm going to take all those envelopes that have been sitting there for I don't know how long. I'm going to make myself a cup of tea. I'm going to sit on the floor. I'm going to sit on the sofa. Make sure it's someplace that you feel anchored. And I'm going to take these scissors and I'm going to open up these envelopes. I'm going to take these bills out and I'm going to make a pile of them. I might not even look at them. I just have enough courage to open the envelopes up and pile them. And that's what I'm going to do. Victory. This is a win. Right? Total debt, total income. I'm going to get all my pay stubs and I'm going to put them together. One thing. Do not stress yourself out. No categories, no micromanaging yourself. This is an exercise of awareness. Trust me, just taking the old open envelopes and putting them in the trash, you're going to feel so good. And then after that, like I said, take a walk. Or call your accountability partner and be like, I opened the envelopes. I'm so proud of myself. So that's action number 1. Action number 2. Set a good enough check-in. Choose one short money check-in per week, 10 to 15 minutes. Why that? Because sometimes when we hear we got to do this for an hour, half an hour, 2.5 hours, again, stress. Little by little, we're going to build this nest. Okay? That's what we're doing. So take 10 or 15 minutes. And if you want to set up a timer, do that. And after it's done, again, have a cup of tea, take a walk, do something nice for yourself, reward yourself, because what you're doing is hard. And you know that, your spirit knows that, your soul knows that, your mind, will, and emotions know that, and your body knows that. When you celebrate it, all of them are going to actually know that too, and you'll feel it. Trust me, you're going to become addicted to the win. You're going to become addicted to the, I did that. And that's good, right? So again, you're not fixing, you're observing, because consistency builds confidence. And that's really what we want to get out of this. Not perfection, confidence. All right, let's go on to number 3. Oops, I went one over. Okay, slide number 3. Celebrate awareness, not perfection. Each time you look at your numbers, that's a win. Awareness is progress, even when you don't like what you see. So let me prepare you for what the voices, your feelings, your emotions are going to say. You're going to say, okay, now we took out all the bills and oh my God, I owe so much money, or oh my God, I'm so behind. Those are just facts and the truth. They come with no emotion because now you have something priceless. Data, information. Now you actually know how much you owe, and you actually know when the bills are due, and you actually know that you can do something about it. It's no longer a secret. So be okay that everything that you see might not be what you like, but now you have information, and now you can make better decisions. 3 actions. You don't even have to do all of them. You can choose one of them, and we'll still be good friends, right? Choose one. All right. So now I will tell you that all of those, what's the word I'm looking for? All of those things together is going to lead to this consistency that you're doing. Clarity grows through consistency, not control. You have to release that because it's not going to help you. I promise you that. Don't give up one monkey on your back for another, one master for another, right? You're trying to be consistent, get clarity, not control. So you don't need pressure to change your finances. You need peace, clarity, and to keep your dignity intact. And those grow through small, consistent steps, right? So if this conversation and teaching resonated with you and you want to go deeper, I invite you to join my Master Your Money workshop, right? So just go to focusfire.life/master your money and sign up. This is a safe place. This conversation and teaching resonated and you're ready to go deeper, I invite you to come. Inside, we build simple systems that help you manage your money with your dignity intact and without shame or a budget you hate. So the link is there. When you're ready, I'd love to support you. I'd love to support you. And I want to share one thing, right? I want to share with you 2 actual, where'd my phone go, y'all? Oh, here it is, right here. 2 actual testimonials that I received. We're going to ignore this printer, okay, and move on. There, look, it's done. And we're back, even if it comes again. All right, I'm going to read this, and I want you to listen to what being in this workshop has done for folks. All right, so there's 2 clients who shared this with me, and I was like, okay, this is what the quan is of all of this. So within the workshop, there are multiple things we talk about: budget, a debt-free form, and a goal sheet. So the debt-free form allows you to list all of the items that you have that you're paying off that are longer term debt. It could be credit card, medical bills, anything along those lines, right? So there was a client who was trying to figure this out. And after listing everything, he texted me to say, good morning, and within our membership, within our group, good morning, family, just found a subscription and canceled it, and a charge I didn't make. This is because I no longer fear looking at my accounts. I no longer fear looking at my accounts. Another wrote that some computer glitch happened and they hadn't received their direct deposits. And as a result, she was terrified that all of the auto payments were going to hit her account, which of course had no funds in it, which of course was going to mean that they were going to have overdrawn, which of course meant $35 each time. But she said that she went, listed all of the items that she knew were coming, rearranged them, moved funds from one place to the other so that she was able to pay off the most important items until the funds came in. This is the empowerment that's in this workshop. So when I saw this, I was like, okay. And one of them in a one-on-one was telling me he's going to go on vacation. I was like, do you have a budget for the vacation? And he was like, yeah, you need a budget for your vacation, because otherwise you just go spend and then you come back and you don't know what you spent on, and then you have bills piled up. And that vacation that you went on for 5 days, you end up paying for it for 5 years. You don't need that. 2 things I can suggest. 1, you bring cash, and when it's done, it's done. 2, you bring a credit card with a limit. So if that's $1,000 and that's what you're spending, that's for the car, that's for the hotel, that's for buying gifts, and you bring a little cash for tips for wherever place that doesn't take credit cards. That means when you come back, you're done. You saved $1,000 already, you pay off the credit card, and you're done. You're done. I have clients who are still paying off their, their vacations 2, 3, 4, 5 years later. You don't need to do that. Right? So I'm going to share with you my response because I was so proud of them. I said, you're now prepared for your first paycheck because you got a new job with more money, because now you are mastering your money and your money is not mastering you. I encourage you, if fear is the thing, nothing is more powerful than scripture for me as a believer. And I believe it is in 2 Timothy, if I'm correct, 2 Timothy 1:7. Says, for God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Those are 3 very powerful things, that you have the power, you have love, and you have a sound mind to deal with fear. You should use these because these are weapons of war, because you are at war with the spirit of fear. I'm calling it what it is. So you need all the weapons you can get. So I need you to know that you do have power. You are not weak and defenseless against this. You have love for yourself, so you're not judging yourself, trying to be perfect and all the things, but you're giving yourself grace, which is a form of love. And you have a sound mind, so you can learn new ways of doing things. You do not have to continue in these traditions that have not served you. You can transition out of that, not just for yourself, but for everyone around you, your family, your children, if you have them, or you want to have them. You need to think about that. These are generational decisions that you are making when it comes to your finances. So I hope that all of this, or some of this, or one thing has resonated with you and you want to change. So you want to go over to focusfire.life/master your money and register so that you can be different by December. We're in February now. And if you start working on this now, you'll be a completely different person because you have a completely different mindset. So thank you for being here and for welcoming this new chapter. This is Dignity in Dollars, where worth and wealth meet for help and healing. Remember, what you desire, you deserve. I'll see you next week. Have a blessed and wealthy week.